Good morning and welcome to the Insight. However, before we move along, we apologize for not keeping to time. Remember, the Insight is where we x-ray and give a postmortem analysis on issues shaping our nation. And today, we'll be looking at the issue of coalition, voter registration, and opposition politics generally. However, is Nigerians' independence by October 1st. So we're looking at the issue beyond independence, navigating coalition politics amidst voter apathy in Southeast. And joining us on the Inside today is Comrade Chukuma Stella, State Chairman, ADC, Enugu State. Ma'am, it's good to have you on the Inside.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Now, without wasting time, you know that tomorrow, Wednesday, is 1st October, and Nigeria will be celebrating 65 years of our independence. What's your view on the journey so far?
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate Nigeria and Nigerians for attaining 65 years of independence.
Yes.
It's been a long walk to independence. I want to actually thank our founding fathers, those that fought for our independence and fought for our freedom. The likes of late Nnamdi Azikiwe, Tafawa Balewa, Awolowo, and others. I want to really say a big thank you to them on behalf of Nigerians. Having said that, has it always been a happy? It was a happy beginning. I'm not too sure I would say where we are now. We are all too happy. We are happy that we have independence, but then other things coming from that independence, we are not too comfortable. But then, notwithstanding, God in his magnanimity has kept us as a nation. We have had to go through the civil war that lasted for about 3 years. We have had to go through so many things, but in all, we are still one Nigeria. So I say congratulations to Nigeria.
All right. Congratulations to Nigeria. We are still one nation.
Yeah.
Right. But given what you've said, I know you don't want to delve into these issues that has bedeviled us as a nation, but do you see a future for this nation?
Well, the future that I foresee perhaps will lie squarely on the political actors.
Sorry.
How they get it right.
It will lie squarely on the political actors. Okay.
Yes.
So, yeah, what do you mean when you say it will lie squarely on the political actors?
Well, we are now in a democracy.
Yes.
And you know that democracy is, they say it's government of the people, for the people, and by the people. And thus far, since 1999 that we started democratic rule in Nigeria, I would rather say that we started well from 1999, but it's like each subsequent election, you know, is bedeviled with some, would I rather say, some things that are not really democratic, you know, characterized by thuggery, characterized by vote buying, characterized by people not really being able to accept their votes, or even when they do, their votes do not count again. And so it will get to a point where Nigerians might revolt to say, we don't want this again. That's why I say that our remaining together depends squarely on the political actors, what we want to make of it. Otherwise, I foresee a future where I vote and then my vote is not counted. Persons cast their votes and it's stolen and given to others. It will get to a point where we might have to revolt. That's my own candid opinion.
Okay. Then it says it rests clearly on the political leaders. And today you're one of the political leaders as far as the nation, Nigeria, is concerned. be that as it may, I want to ask, as a leader of the ADC in Enugu State, I want to ask, but generally, what is ADC doing presently?
Well, you know that some months back, AGC, the African Democratic Congress, was chosen as the coalition party that saw the entry of some other political leaders from other political parties, some from PDP, some from APC, some from SDP and all that, some from Labour Party. And what the party is doing currently is harmonizing of positions because, of course, like here in Enugu State, we've had, we have some executives from the states down to the local government and the wards. And now that we have some new persons that are coming into the party, it's just ideal that we should give them some space so that they will come in and they feel welcomed. So generally, AGC is going through harmonization exercise. It's coming in people, forming structures that is all embracing. That's currently what we are doing.
All right. You know, ADC, one may be forced to say, is another opposition political party.
Yeah, it has always been an opposition political
this thing
party.
is, you people tend to, paint it with the brush of a coalition. And we may rightly argue, and some have argued, that they do not see a coalition here, but rather an assemblage of different political actors coming together, because most of your people, Albert, are still remaining in their main political parties. Nothing seems to be happening in terms of that.
Well, if you recall, or if you read through the papers, you see that some days back, the leaders of this coalition movement met and gave ultimatum to all the political actors that have come into ADC to resign their membership of the various political parties and come in together as ADC members. You cannot be in one party and then you'll be deciding what happens in another party. So they are basically, like some have said, oh, give us time, we want to conclude what is happening in our various political parties. By the time we are done, we will now be coming out fully. So,
all right, and the party as a body has agreed to allow them the leverage to remain where they are till they are done with the electioneering before they come in.
Yeah, like the leader of the Labour Party that entered AGC, he has said, please allow me time to conclude with Anambra elections, which comes up on the 6th of November. And the other person from SDP says he wants to be done with the local government elections in his state. So they took permission, and those permissions were granted them.
All right. Before I move to the next question, given my previous question that ADC seems to be just another opposition party in the mode of Labour, in the mode of PDP and SDP, if you may. Reason being that we didn't see, given the elections that we've had off-season elections coming up in different states. And ADC, for example, didn't make any showing.
Well, it may not make any showing, but then that does not mean that it's not a strong party. Why it is not deregistered is because it has presented candidates that won elections. So it's still making some showings. And anyway, but what happened in the off-season election we have is not what we use to compare the strength of the party. It is when we go into the general elections and then we see what they have done, then you can now begin to say, oh, they have done well or they've not done well.
All right. Going forward, let's talk about how ADC as a body will be able to reconcile the different regional, ethnic interests. I bet even ideological interests that have come to call ADC home? How are you? What are you people doing? How are you going to reconcile all that?
Because you mean
There is different interests at play
yes.
here. For example, when you move to the north, there are feelings that power should be thrust back to the north.
Yeah.
Then come down to southeast. The southeast feels that they should be allowed to test the presidency. Therefore, ADC as a party should look favorably to their own brother, the man from Labour Party, and give him the ticket. Then, going around, you see that there are different areas of interest. And I want to know, how are you going to reconcile that very interest?
Well, I think before they even came up and adopted ADC as the political party, these issues were raised at that level. And I am very certain too that they were discussed. We were not there when those leaders from other political parties, when they came, that's the coalition partners. If you remember that each person from each of the political zones was appointed a leader from each of their zones. And before they finally said it is ADC, I am very certain that all these issues, because some persons, if we say that, oh, the Northerners have had it, it is now the turn of the South, then some persons from the South, the North, will tell you that, oh, maybe the Northwest has had or has not had the Northeast. You know, they begin to also. So when we now come here, some persons look at North and South. It is when we come to the South now we say, oh, Southeast or South-South or Southwest. Just like when you go to the North, we look at them as the North. We just say like the immediate past president is from the North. That's what we say. But then when you go to the North, the Northerners will now tell you the region he is from. You know, and that is basically what is also playing out here, like in this forthcoming election. The people from the Southeast will say, oh, we've not had it. But some persons from the North will tell you that the Southerners, they don't want to know whether you are from the you're Southeast or South or Southwest. Or they will just tell you that the Southerners have ruled us for so number of years. And for equity, we want you to allow the Northerners. And then when you're now going to go to the North, they will now tell you, oh, it is either somebody is coming from the Northwest or from the North Central of the, or, you know, Northeast. But having said that, in ADC, and for this coalition to have come this far, it also means that at that point, at that level, they're also still discussing. Okay. They're discussing. And if you know that the immediate past national chairman of ADC is from the Southeast, and for this thing to happen, he had to give way so that somebody from the North can come in. So we've not, the party has not really decided how it's going to work out. Yes, okay. It has not decided, but then I believe that whatever it does, equity will be taken into account. Okay. And it will be in the best interest of Nigerians.
Okay, to be in the best interest of Nigerians. Before I would want to discuss with you what you're doing presently as a state chairman of ADC in Enugu State. But before I do that, I would want to equally probe further, you know, in the area of zoning and macro zoning. I know you've told us, yes, that when that decision is made, it will be in, as a result of, it will be in equity and for the basis of the Nigerians. But I want to ask, as a state chairman of ADC in Enugu State, don't you feel that if ADC doesn't zone one and microzone the ticket to the Southeast, particularly to Mr. Pitobi, let me be direct, that ADC doesn't stand a chance in Eastern Nigeria?
Well, there is this obedience, P2B's factor, you know, the movement. There's no denying that. But I can also still assure you that while I still don't know where the party will be zoning the presidential ticket, but where it eventually does, we all pray, because I'm an Igbo person, okay, I'm from the Southeast, and I want a Southeasterner to get that ticket, at least for you know, for the sake of equity, like we would rather say.
Okay.
But I also want to believe that wherever, whatever, you know, happens at last, that it will be in the best interest of Nigerians, because I am very certain that they will decide, they will discuss, and they will reach agreements.
All right. But as
But
an Igbo
if
person, yes.
ADC, I don't know, if ADC eventually does not zone its presidential ticket to the Southeast, of course it's going to affect us.
Okay.
It also will, but then it will also depend on what Mr. P2B wants and what he says, and what agreement he reaches as they decide, because he is the leader of the coalition from the Southeast.
All right. You know why I asked this question? The movement of P2B, the obedient movement, you know, we've heard them say is Obi or nothing. Meaning either the ADC gives them that ticket, or they either remain in Labour or they move elsewhere. And we are very much aware that the PDP are wooing Mr. P2B to return to their fold. You know, that's why I'm asking that particular question about his movement and all that. But be that as it may, ma'am, will it be right? Because some persons have accused your party, the ADC, to be working for the former vice president's Atiku Abubakar's interest.
How would they say that they're working for Atiku Abubakar?
They say the party is populated with his affiliates.
Okay, now let me tell you something. When the party was chosen as a coalition party, Atiku Abubakar came in. People from the obedience movement also came in. But somehow, why it's like Atiku is having a leverage is because immediately the party was chosen, he resigned his membership of the People's Democratic Party and joined ADC fully. Okay. So he's now a full-fledged member of ADC. Unlike Mr. P2B, who has said, please allow me time. So it is that allowing him time that makes it look as if his supporters are one leg in and one leg out. They are waiting for his final action and decision. But that does not mean that ADC is working for Atiku Abubakar. The only thing is that he is now a full member of the African Democratic Congress, unlike P2B, who, right, you know, is pleading for time. You know.
All right. Okay. Very well said. Let's look at Comrade Chukwuma Stella,
yes,
the chairman of ADC in Enugu State. Yeah. What is ADC doing in Enugu State?
Well, ADC, we are strong, we are on ground. And by the way, tomorrow is 1st October. That's usually what we do every 1st October to commemorate Nigeria's independence. The party, you know, our logo is handshake. So in every 1st October, we go out in our neighborhoods, we shake hands with people and wish them well. And of course, you know what handshake means. It signifies unity, friendship, and all that. So tomorrow, 1st October, we'll still be doing the same thing. And, oh, by the way, that tomorrow too, after the handshake, we usually do it for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, I think it's maybe. We will now also officially be unveiling our state office in Enugu State. So we are working, much as we are forming structures from state down to the local government, to the wards. But this is one bold statement we want to make on the 1st of October, the handshake and then the unveiling of our
state office.
State office, yes.
Okay. So this handshake will primarily be happening only in Enugu or across all ADC party formations across Nigeria?
It usually is across, yes.
Okay. But
I don't know the preparedness of other states, yes.
But Enugu State chapter is well prepared.
Well prepared, yes.
With activities and events.
Yes, we usually do that every 1st October.
Okay. Now, let me ask, would one be correct to say that ADC was not in existence in terms of being a viable political option in Enugu State before the happening of this coalition?
No. ADC has been in Enugu. ADC, since it was registered, has had presence in Enugu State. I came in, when I came in, I had to, give it life because there was no life. And that's something somebody said when he met us somewhere, met some of my state working committee. He said that he's impressed. And I said, why? He said, because over years, you've kept this team together. And, it was not like when the coalition happened that people were like, some even said they were going to start, some said he's going to start Enugu State, ADC in Enugu State. By the time he came and saw, the people on ground, he was shocked. And he left and said, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know that there is ADC. Well, the other thing you understand again is that because ADC has not produced a candidate that won election, it also affects our operations. And so that's basically what has happened. Not that there's no presence of ADC.
All right. Now that we are talking about it, ADC is on ground. Yeah. Do you see ADC challenging for positions in Enugu State?
Very comfortably, especially with this coalition that has happened. ADC is going to challenge.
We're said to have, wherever you go, we're said to have a performing governor, a performing local government chairman, and it may be a Herculean task for ADC to try to unseat the PDP in Enugu State.
Well, when the time comes and when we begin to bring out our own manifestos and begin to, do one or two things, we will now have to choose between good and better.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. On that note, we'll go on a short break. When we return, we'll continue to probe on these issues.
Hello, I'm Debra Wakoba. I am Chidimike Mede.
I am Uche Osai.
I'm Chiwendo Ifeonwankwe.
My name is Obobina Samson.
Please keep watching Aneke TV, or you can visit us on our socials like Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok, or YouTube, all at Aneke TV.
This is Aneke TV. We move with the world.
All right, thank you for staying with us. We're still probing on navigating coalition politics amidst voter apathy in Southeast, and we've been discussing with Comrade Chukwuma Stella, State Chairman of ADC in Enugu State. Comrade, it's been wonderful on these discussions, and right now, I may want to know, you've been talking about what ADC is doing in Enugu State, talking about tomorrow, the handshake, and the unveiling of party office, your mobilization across the grassroots, you say from up down, right? Now, we want to know, how is the women involvement in all this like? Because we're in a climate where there seems to be little participation of women in politics.
Yeah. ADC is a very unique political party. Unique in the sense that in its constitution, it provides positions for women and youths and people with disability. For the women, it reserves 35% of its positions.
35% of his position.
35% of his position. And then 35 also for the youths is embedded in the constitution.
Okay.
And then also the persons with disability do no percentage allotted to them, but then they have office allotted to them. And so that means that it's a call for women to come out, take elective positions, take executive positions in the party. The challenge we've always had as women is some are cultural challenges, some are religious, some are, social. And we've kept talking at every point, opportunity we have, we tell women that we should no longer play the role of supporting women, supporting men. We should also support ourselves. Time has gone when, women are seen as just, going for, you use them to go for campaign, sew uniforms and give them. Then at the end of the day, possibly you give them money to buy, give them Maggie when they come for campaign. And when you talk even of the voting population, you say that women constitute about 50% or more of the voting population, followed by the youths. And yet, these same women, you don't allow them to exercise their full political rights. So we have enshrined that in the ADC, and we usually give them, women and the youth, free tickets to contest for election.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Now that we are talking about women, let's look at Comrade Chukuma Stella.
Yes.
You are in a men's turf. Hardly do you see a woman party leader. It rarely happens. Just we have only given instances, even at the national and subnational. So how were you able to do that?
Well, initially I wasn't even into politics. I just was doing my thing.
What was your thing?
That's an organization I belong to,
Okay.
So I think we are just, that was when the Anambra election, 2017 election, they said it wasn't going to happen, and we grouped ourselves and said no. Why would we say we are not taking part in this election? So we went to Anambra, we started talking, we started going from village to village, from meeting, community leaders, chiefs and all that, telling them why the election should happen. And I think it was after that that the then national chairman of ADC came to Enugu and said, we want somebody to be the leader of the party in this state, and that, in fact, from that group, if it's going to be a woman, that he would prefer. That's how, they nominated me, and then gave us, told us to begin to form this party, and we started building the party. It's not been, bed of roses, and of course, when you go into a men-dominated world, you know what it means. But then the thing is that you know what you are doing, you go there. You don't see yourself, in this position. You don't see yourself as a woman. You first of all see yourself as a leader. And some people feel that a woman must not get a certain position if it doesn't bend back, But we've held our head high. I said it the other time that there's nobody that can say, I have done this with this woman, I have done that. In fact, there was one thing that happened when somebody wanted to enter a party, and they gave him the name of the state chairman. He called and said, so I picked. Yeah, I said, good morning. I said, yeah. He said, give the phone to your husband. I said, but it's my phone. You called my number. He said, I want to speak with the chairman of ADC Enugu State. I said, you are speaking with the chairman. He said, a woman? When he said a woman, I knew that we still have a long way to go politically, especially involving women in politics. We teach And we have started creating awareness about women. And also want, apart from what ADC is doing, I also want to commend the leadership of IPAC. IPAC is Interparty Advisory Council.
Okay.
At the national level, they've created a directorate of women affairs. Why? Because they also feel that women, it's time for women's voice to be heard in politics. So they're also doing some things, forming structures, mobilizing women to come out and take up elective positions.
Okay. And how has been the support from the women folk? Being that you're a woman, you're leading a political party, how are the women been supporting you?
They've been very, very supportive. And you know, like there are also some women that have formed some NGOs, like Women Support Women, Women in Politics, and others. So we're gonna galvanize things together. But then, you know, like I said, we still need to reach out more. We still need to reach out more, particularly to our men folk.
Okay.
Yes, we need to still talk to our men folk.
All right. Before I go to the next issue that I want us to discuss, talking about apathy in the Southeast, I want to ask, what is your ambition? Do you have any political ambition beyond being a chairman? Are you targeting to be the governor of a state or senate? What's the...
For now, I just want to lead the party. But if the party members decide that this woman should go for us, I wouldn't hesitate. But though now I'm not really keen on going for any...
Contesting any position?
Yes, I am not. I just want to lead. But if...
When the time comes, if you're nominated?
Yes, and consultations are made.
Okay.
And they said, this woman go, let me, you know, like where I come from, over years, or for some time, our people didn't have light. And they had discussions with the staff of EDC, and they told them that, see, that sometimes when men are in charge of this electricity, you know, community electricity, that sometimes they get the money doesn't get to where it's supposed to go, that why don't they look for a woman to do that? I was not in that meeting. But perhaps by seeing your antecedent, the ego of my community said they should appoint me as a chairman of the electricity committee in my community. And they came and told me that. I said, Igwe nominated me. I said, yes, that is because of your antecedent. And so I just said that in person. If following the antecedent too, my people say, go for us, I will not say no.
You'll be willing
I'm
to
very
go.
willing to go.
And you let us know.
Yes.
All right. Now, that brings me to another interesting aspect to this whole conversation. You know, the ADC, like we've said, yeah, you've told us that ADC has been around, though they've not won a major milestone politically. But, okay, we're seeing a situation where if everything aligns and the whole interest comes together and ADC becomes formidable, is there any mechanism in place to check a situation where people win election under your foot and they begin to leave, like we witnessed with the Labour Party? You will see that most of the people that won elections through the vehicle of Labour Party in Southeast virtually have all decamped to other political parties.
Well, I think that thing it's not just for ADC to do. It has to be a legal thing. So I would rather think that, you know, there must be a definite pronouncement. You win under a political party. Remain in that. And if you are leaving, for instance, you should relinquish the position, because it was not your name that won that election. It was the name of the political party. So I think this thing has some legal issues. I don't know what it's, I wouldn't be able to tell you now what ADC would do.
Okay.
You know, if somebody wins election under ADC and leaves, persons have won under PDP, they've left. They've won under Labour, they've left one under, some even won in APC, they're leaving for other political parties. So I wouldn't know, it's not just what ADC as a political party will handle.
Okay.
It has to be something that either that there should be a bill that will be, you know, addressed by the National Assembly, and then it also comes in as a law that if you win under this political party, you remain there. If you saw something good in that political party and you chose it as a vehicle to run for elections and you win, then also see it. You stay there. If there are things that are not right, then you stay there and make things right there.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Let's look at a very disturbing issue, given with the voter registration exercise and voting generally in Southeast. The figures coming from Aneke is quite disturbing when you take into account the figures for Enugu State. In fact, the figures that were released by August 25th, between August 25th and September 12th of this year, you will see that in Enugu State, the total number is less than 2,000. In fact, when you break it down, for the male folk, you have 896 persons registering with the INEC, and you have about 905 females registering, making a total of 1,801, which is on the average when you compare to other states. Other states are having about 25%, 25,000 turnout for our persons registering, but here is less, and that becomes quite alarming. What do you think about this issue? Does it disturb you as a party and as a person?
Yeah, it does, and it's not just in Enugu State, it's Southeast generally.
Okay.
We've had to battle this repeatedly too. And if you also remember, during census, it still affects us. Our people, in fact, there was one time when they wanted to do census, our people said that we are non-Nigerians and refused to be counted. And up to today, it is still affecting us. And then the low turnout. Though one thing again is that because the Southeasterners, they move out a lot. You see that when you check in these other climes, the other states, you also see that the people that register there are also persons from the Southeast. So you cannot really say that our people are not registering. It's only that when you answer those that reside within the Southeastern region. Having said that, we are working with, though we initially, when that publication was made, my party in Enugu State had to challenge INEC. That we said we were not too comfortable because we felt it was just a subtle way of beginning to rig the 2027 election. That within 2 weeks, telling us that in a particular state, about over 500 persons, 500,000 persons have registered. So we felt that it was not too proper. It was not. We were not going to take that. We made a rejoinder that crediting what INEC did. But then, having said that too, as a political party, after our unveiling tomorrow, the next thing is to move in. We move to the hinterlands, we move to the wards, we move to the polling units and get our persons to register. In fact, we have said, as many people as want to come into ADC, first of all, show us your voter card. Okay. Before you even become a member, you show us, especially as they're coming through this coalition now, show us your voter card, and then you take your membership card. It's another way of, ensuring that our people register. But beyond that, we also will be making an appeal to everybody, the church leaders, wherever they are, market leaders, community leaders. Let us talk to our people. much as whatever thing it is that we are agitating for, we are still in Nigeria, and we are still running a democratic government. And because we run democratic government every year, every 4 years, we have to go in for election. And whether we get what we are looking for, we don't get, every 4 years, this election must happen. And we are going to field in persons. So it's just much discredit to us when the persons that vote from our end are smaller and less in number than those that we are working, or we want to take power from.
All right. Very passionately said. Now, to close, I want to ask this final question. Do you see ADC as a party dislodging other opposition political parties and the ruling ADC come 2027?
Ruling APC.
The ruling the APC, yes.
Yeah, very well. Everybody, if I want, like when you're in a race, what is in your mind? That you must take the first position, isn't it?
Yes.
And then you put in your best.
Yes.
So ADC has come. ADC will be fielding candidates, and we will not be fielding candidates because we want to field candidates. We want to field candidates that are going to win elections. And just like any other political party we want to have persons that win both from the state up to the national and then the presidency. And we work towards that.
All right. Very well said. Any final word, anything you want to tell in the Enugu? As regards tomorrow is independence, as regards the unveiling of your party office in Enugu and all that.
Well, what in the Enugu, I want to wish you happy independence again. 65-year-old man is not a small boy. I want to tell us that, one, we are hardworking people, we are peace-loving people. As we go out tomorrow to commemorate the Independence Day anniversary, I want us to do that peacefully. Nobody should molest another person. And they are all invited. You are all invited to the unveiling of the state office of the African Democratic Congress, Enugu State Secretariat. And we extend our handshake, which is our logo, by the way, handshake of peace, handshake of unity, handshake of progress, handshake of oneness to Ndi Enugu and Nigerians as we celebrate 65 years independence.
All right. And on that note, that's where we'll draw the curtain today on the Insight. And we've been speaking to Comrade Chukwuma Stella, State Chairman, African Democratic Congress, Enugu State Chapter. Thank you, ma.
You're welcome.
All right.
Thank you.
Now, to you, our viewers, remember, on the Insight, your views matters to us. Reach us with the hashtag, The Insight, all at Aneke TV on our social media handles, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. Till we come your way same time tomorrow. I remain your host, Uche Osai.